Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holder Community, Oceania Hoon Dok Hae, together with Reverend Yutaka Yamada. And it is Tuesday, the 3rd of May, or the 3rd of April in the 10th year of Chongbuk. Let's begin by offering a bow to our Heavenly Parent and True Parents. Chariots, Kyombe, Paro. And let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가족맨세 6. 천일국주인 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 6. Our family, the owner of Chongbuk, pledges to become a family that moves heavenly fortune by embodying the heavenly parent and true parents, and to perfect a family that conveys heaven's blessing to our community by centering on true love. I'd like to ask Greg Hansen if you could offer the opening prayer, please.
Good morning, Heavenly Parent, and good morning, our true parents, and good morning, all our brothers and sisters in Oceania, and those who also good morning to those who can't make it today. So, Heavenly Parent, we're focusing on this new day, and we're praying that we can be one with you and close to you, and that we can continue on our journey of perfecting our characters and perfecting our hearts and minds. And Heavenly Parent, we're so grateful that you sent true parents, true father and true mother, and now we're entering this new providence, new dispensation with true mother who's made many changes and is developing many things, and she was looking happy and smiling in the last meeting with the leaders a week ago. And we're grateful that she can be happy, and we want to support as best we can to fulfill abilities and talents and to press forward, and not for ourselves necessarily, but just for others. So centering on the others, on the people in this world who are suffering and not knowing the principle, not knowing true parents, not being able to get the blessing of your marriage and of heaven, and gaining the support from the high spirit world. So Heavenly Parent, here today, thank you for Reverend Yutaka and Reverend John, and all of us here who can take part in this. We pray for open hearts, minds, and please bless our speakers and presenters. So offer this in our names. So bless community and Greg, Lisa Hansen, bless Central Family. Adieu.
Adieu. Thank you, everyone, and let's give a warm welcome to Reverend Yutaka as he shares this morning. Thank you.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining today's morning devotion and Hoon Dok Hae. Today is also beginning moment. Let's put our attention in the heart and let's create a great time. Thank you. So as I said yesterday, today I will leave from Japan to Sydney tonight, and I will arrive tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning, I think Reverend Joe will give a message. So really time is flying so quickly. In Japan is now changing from winter to spring. So daytime is around 25 degrees, but nighttime is around 5 to 10. Some really strange weather. I think New Zealand and Australia is maybe opposite, right? Hot winter, now the autumn to winter, right? So really have to take care of your health well, this changing time period. So yesterday I met President Hori to share the several things. So really he want to visit many island nations and Oceania. So first he's thinking to visit Australia and New Zealand, then maybe later, maybe depends on the situation, how he can also visit and see directly So those schedule is coming soon, maybe June. So let's welcome well in the each nation, each city or each nations. So really we can receive many guidance or inspiration. So anyway, many things also coming soon. Let's do together. Today, we continue about global unity through parents. So yesterday part, we are talking about the importance of Korean language. So we had many your opinion or idea to study through app, drama, or song, right? And also one of the important things is to use the Korean word. Then this become happiness. How you can understand, how you can really feel the happiness to use the Korean language. Maybe I can share my short story. Before I study in Korea, the Language Institute, I went to go to Korea for champion workshop for 3 days when I was 18 years old. That time, first time to visit champion. And I really couldn't do any Korean language that time. So usually if we go to Korea or champion, usually we go together with all group, right? Brothers and sisters or blessed family, a big group. So that time, really we are together with one bus, move from airport to champion. That time I think it takes maybe 2 or 3 hours from airport to champion. Took time. Maybe you have experience. And even that time I was young, but I determined I want to communicate and speak with Korean people in Korean language. Even I couldn't speak anything. That's why I memorized 3 words. One is 안녕하세요. And second one is 화장실. You know 화장실? The toilet. And third one is 감사합니다. So then I wanted to use this word with Korean people because I never talk with Korean people. So that time from airport to champion, but it takes time. So middle of this trip, this bus stopped to some parking area or service area to go to toilet or shopping something. That's why that time determined with my friend. Really, I want to talk with Korean people, like Korean. I determine I pretend to Korean something. So I go to shopping and see the owner, and I said 안녕하세요. Then that person also greet back to me. I was so happy, and I said 화장실. Then I think that person could not catch my word, but I talk again 화장실. Then he also respond something, and he showed me the way. Where is 화장실? I said 감사합니다, and he smiled to me. So even this is so small or a short message or a short conversation, that time this was the first experience for me to speak Korean people in Korean language. So I was so happy, and that I cannot forget that happiness. Anyway, you meet many Korean leader, maybe you speak Korean language, Korean wife or blessed family, but even one word or 2 words, this, if you use this word, then really the heart of world of heart become bigger and bigger, and happiness is coming. So recently, even we watch the Korean drama. In the people in the world, they can learn how Korean language is important or Korean culture. They automatically understand the bowing to elders or 3 generations stay together or natural. There God is preparing the environment for people to understand Korean culture and Korean language. That's why if we can try one word, one sentence, then the method to communicate with our true mother, true father, or our heavenly parents is bigger and bigger. So until last day, let's try our best to study Korean language well and cooperate together. So Yamada is mentioning about importance of studying Korean language. Okay, so let's continue. So Dr. Joshinta, please read.
God loves the Korean language the most. There are more than 6,000 languages in the world, but there are not so many languages that can move God's heart. The language in which we can understand God's heart and situation, comfort him, and melt his anguish and pain is the Korean language.
Yes, thank you very much. So Korean language is not just normal language. Mother said, the language in which we can understand God's heart and situation, comfort him, and melt his anguish and pain is the Korean language. So that much, this Korean language is special. So in order to liberate God's heart, we also have to study the Korean language. Okay, please read.
Also, the Korean language is scientific. You can use the Korean Hangul alphabet to write down the sounds of nature just as you hear them. Furthermore, the language form differs based on whether it is spoken to an adult or a child. Imagine there is a family of 3 generations living together. In the English language, a 3-year-old can go to his grandfather and ask, "Have you eaten lunch?" using informal language, which does not express the respect the child should show to his grandfather. In the Korean language, they would use the polite form. That is why the Korean language is most suited to attend and live with God. Once you know the grammar, you can quickly master the Korean language.
Yes, thank you very much. So when we see the English, have you eaten lunch? Maybe this word is same from elder to younger or younger to elder, right? Is there another word? Basically same. So, but in Korean, informal language and polite form, totally different feeling. So for example, this in Korean word, she explained in the Korean word, the differences. So one informal word is this one. No 밥 먹었니? You know, 밥 먹었니 is did you eat? No 밥 먹었니 is the informal word. And in polite word, 진지 잡수셨습니까? 진지 잡수셨습니까? I don't know, you can feel the different. 너 밥 먹었니? And 진지 진지 잡수셨습니까? So this is same word. Have you eaten lunch? But first one, 너 밥 먹었니? Is kind of the elder tell to younger. Some grandfather tell to children, right? This is the 너 밥 먹었니? Informal one. But if this say younger people, 3 years old people, the baby or kids tell to grandfather, no 밥 먹었니? This is the really big problem. Already that person was scolded so much. No 밥 먹었니 is very impolite. And 진지 잡수셨습니까? Already we heard this word. We could understand how respect this person is. That's why through using Korean language, automatically this heart is coming. Respecting feeling is coming together through using the word. That's why learning Korean language or living in the Korean culture is totally different benefit and different feeling. So how much important to feel, experience, learn and Korean language and Korean culture. Okay, please read.
Which language do you think touches God's heart and goes straight into his ears? There are many saints who have come and gone in history, and they earnestly offered sincere devotion to God. However, it is the true parents who have comforted God's heart and liberated God. Only true fathers' words reach God's ears. The Korean language is the best way to become one in heart with Father. The young second generation should absolutely learn Korean. As the number of second generation members increases, they should all start making an effort to learn Korean.
Yes, thank you very much. So there are many kind of people in the history. So what Mother want to say? Mother said there are many saints who have come and gone in history, and they honestly offered sincere devotion to God. However, it is the true parents who have comforted God's heart and liberated God. Only through Father's words reach God's ear. So Mada is talking about, many people is talking about God, attending God. But who was really most attended and understood God's heart or comforted? This person is the true father and true mother, our true parents, and true parents' word. Language is the Korean language. That's why this Korean language is important to understand God's heart, they comfort God's heart, and really this word is really give happiness and comforted God's ears. So how we can learn and we can really inherit and speak Korean language. Okay, please read.
The fastest way to learn a language is through songs. In the American movement, the Seattle Church has a blessed family choir that includes first and second generation members. When I did the world tour, I saw these white children with blonde hair and black hair singing Korean songs. It was very beautiful. I gave them the name Sunhak Choir. This choir once came all the way to Korea to put on a concert. Wherever I go, I see many second generation. I told them to create a choir if possible, because singing Korean songs will help them learn the Korean language quickly.
Yes, thank you very much. So this is a really good way. Do you love to sing a song? If you study or learn the Korean song, this is the really fastest way. When I was studying in Korean language course, I really memorized around 10 to 15 Korean song, and even every day I'm singing this Korean song because I was also one of the member of choir. So learning Korean song or memorize or really prepare one Korean song, this is good way to learn and understand Korean songs. So learn the Korean language. So also to the parents emphasizing us, each person have to prepare one song to sing a song for in front of to the parents. So last time father always asked people member to sing a song, right? Of course we can sing our song. Basically, if we can prepare, it's better to prepare one Korean song, one English song, and one some your country song. Then really suddenly if the parents ask you to sing a song, really you can offer and give happiness. So anyway, one of the way to learn Korean language is to memorize the Korean song. Then really easier to feel and understand. And Yamada is mentioning our all people have to study Korean language, especially our younger second generation, ask them to study Korean language. Then they can feel more connected with through parents. So this part Mada is mentioning about Korean language, we can remind again and again and again, even one word, even one sentence, then our opportunity to connect with true parents directly in Korean word become bigger and also many to have. So then let's try to our best. Next, we will share about word of Cheonseongyeon. So now father is mentioning and we are reading about true parents. God is vertical, true parents. True parents is horizontal, true parents. And we are receiving two kinds of love from two set of true parents. This is really a great and amazing things. So yesterday, there was word of 90 degree, and I think someone, maybe Mrs. Barbara asked about 90 degree. This concept, True Father is mentioning several times about concept of 90 degree. So this concept is that Heavenly Parents or God is staying center of our top or our head. And what is the shortest way to come down to us? God will come down to us. Where is the shortest way? And what is the horizontal line? Adam and Eve connect directly to horizontally and unite together. Adam and Eve staying separately but come together to the center. And God is come down directly to Adam and Eve. So this position is the meeting point or uniting point with Adam, with God, and Adam and Eve. So this God, Father said, the high noon settlement, we have to become the high noon settlement without any kind of shadow. This point is the 90 degree. So when sun is coming of the top of the sky on 12 noon, where is the high noon settlement? This is the 90 degree. So when we see the relationship with God and human beings, we should be the 90 degree. That's why Father is mentioning that God and true parents relationship is 90 degree. There is no shadow, totally unite together. And true parents is emphasizing us, we should become also the 90 degree relationship without any shadow, just straight. If 91 degree or if 100 degree, this already, there is distance and there is shadow to God, shadow to true parents. That's why we have to stand in front of God, in front of heavenly parents and true parents without any shadow. And this time in Korea, Mada is mentioning that also we have to be crystal clean. If there is shadow, we have to clean up everything. Then we can open the nation of Cheongguk and era of new, we can open the new era. So the Trinity is also same concept. God and true Father and true Mother, these three existence coming together, totally united. This is the Trinity. That's why Father is mentioning about that 90 degree, life of 90 degree. So we have to become also those existence. Okay, please read.
From the viewpoint of love, God is the vertical father and the true parent of vertical love. He is the true parent who can endow vertical life and vertical lineage. God is the vertical father who can give us vertical true love, life, and lineage. The fruit of that father is your mind, which stands in the vertical position. That mind is your vertical self.
Yes, thank you very much. So Father is talking about the heavenly parents, and God is the vertical life, vertical love, vertical life, and vertical lineage. And we are result of vertical, our true parents. And our mind is our vertical self. So through this Father's word, we are receiving the vertical lineage or God's lineage. So heavenly parents or God is really connection or true parents or vertical true parents. So we could see this vertical point. Okay, please read.
God is the vertical parent, and Adam and Eve are the horizontal parents of true love. Originally, human beings should have been born as descendants of these two united sets of parents, and without falling should have inherited their lineage. But Eve, before she was 20 years old, and while she was still immature, paired with Satan. According to the principle, no matter how devout your faith, unless you have a chance to attend true parents on earth, there is no way for you to go to the kingdom of heaven.
Yes, thank you very much. So Father is talking about the kingdom of heaven and the original ideal situation in the beginning of our history and Garden of Eden. And Father said, according to the principle, no matter how devout your faith, unless you have a chance to attend to parents on earth, there is no way for you to go to the kingdom of heaven. So this is how much important to know and connect with true parents. There are many kind of good person. There are many kind of saint in the world. The person who devoted whole life to God, but without connecting our true parents, there is no way to go to the kingdom of heaven. Maybe they can go to the paradise, a single position. We learn about spiritual world. When we go to the spiritual world, there is many kind of group of people or area in the spiritual world. Buddhist group, Christian group or a good person's group, or maybe this country's group, but in order to enter to kingdom of heaven without meeting true parents, without receiving blessing, people could not enter to the kingdom of heaven. That's why we really understand the importance of blessing and to share this blessing to our people. Otherwise, even their life is good, even they love God, or if they offer their life to live for the sake of others, but without receiving blessing, their praise to go to spiritual world is limited. That's why Father is emphasized that if they don't have chance to attend to the parents on earth, there's no way for people to go to the kingdom of heaven. Okay, please read.
Then who are the true parents who have overcome the fall? God is the true parent of vertical true love, and the mature Adam and Eve are the parents of horizontal true love, the horizontal parents. With what can the vertical parent and the horizontal parents be bound as one? With the explosion of love that occurs at the 90-degree angle. Through this explosion, Adam and Eve become heavenly people as they give birth to children to create a family, a tribe, a people, a nation, and the world.
Yes, thank you very much. So like this way, the vertical God and horizontal God, God are true parents, vertical true parents, and the horizontal true parents, totally vertical and horizontal unite together, centering on one point. Then from this point, the new children, newborn baby is coming. Then this one create the family, tribe, people, a nation, and the world. This is the ideal situation. So if all family come together, centering on God and true parents from one point, and to multiply or develop, how beautiful this world become. So we are, God is trying to create this ideal world again, centering on heavenly parents, centering on true parents through blessing. That's why we are already here as a family, or we are here already as the tribe under true parents. So we are the one who are creating and expanding this realm from individual, family, tribe, people, nation, and the world. So this is unity is important things. So going to next part. So please read.
God has to attain his kingship. Who in the world is God? People say God is absolute. As the creator, he is the Holy One, while human beings are profane. This is an incorrect understanding, however. If God is absolute and holy, then that which he created according to his ideal should also be holy. Long ago, during their course in the wilderness, the Israelites worshipped the tabernacle, which contained the holy place and the Holy of Holies. Yet, can you compare the Holy of Holies fashioned by human beings with the Holy of Holies and the holy place that God created as the original nature of unfallen Adam and Eve?
Yes, thank you very much. So all persons should have the holiness of God. Originally, if ancestor was not fallen, then ourselves has already the nature of holiness. So we should understand the background, how God was guiding all people to bring back to God again. Okay, please read.
What was the tabernacle composed of the Holy of Holies and the holy place? It was nothing but a transitory symbol that prefigured the substantial being, the original temple and the original Holy of Holies. Its symbolism compounded, expanded, and elevated the ideal of the one who was to come. It represented the union of Adam and Eve in their ideal restored form. The symbol in and of itself is not holy, but since people revered the holy place and the Holy of Holies made by fallen human beings, then how much more should we revere Adam and Eve, who were made by the absolutely holy being?
Okay, and one more slide. This is the last slide. Please read.
God is at the center of the Holy of Holies, which corresponds to the minds of Adam and Eve, and in the holy place, which corresponds to their bodies. Adam was to have become God's body, and Eve too was to have become God's body. Adam was to resemble God's masculine nature, and Eve God's feminine nature. The marriage of these two, Adam and Eve, was to have been the ceremony to set up the cosmic kingship, the kingship of love.
Yes, thank you very much. So Father mentioned that the symbol in and of itself is not holy, but since people revered the holy place and the holy of holies made by fallen human beings, then how much more should we revere Adam and Eve, who were made by the absolute holy being? So God created human beings. God is holiness. So the creation which are created by God should be holiness or holy things. So finally, our holy human beings should be the God's lineage and God's some creation. So how we can return back as the holiness or holy nature. This is really the important things. So Father is continuously talking about Adam and Eve, or nature, or relationship, or connection with cosmic kingship. Father is mentioning about Adam and Eve, but this is not talking about only Adam and Eve. We should become the same existence. Father is talking about Adam and Eve, but actually we should become like Adam. We should become Eve. We should restore back the original nature of unfallen Adam and Eve's status and children of God. Then we can create that. So Father said the marriage of these two, Adam and Eve, was to have been the ceremony to set up the cosmic kingship, the kingship of love. Those ideas, those wishes is also staying together with us. So how we can create those cosmic kingship in the kingship of love from, of course, to the parents, but also from our family, from our tribe, nation, and the world. So today we are sharing about Mother's Word and Father's Word, how much those essences coming inside of our daily life. So through reading God's Word, even one sentence to learn Korean language, or to become the holy existence, or holy Adam, holy Eve, holy children, really we have to find a way, and we try to practice in our daily life. So today is also the beautiful day. Let's put our Johnson in heart and share the blessing to our brothers and sisters. So thank you for joining this morning. Hoon Dok Hae. Let's have a great time. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. Thank you, Reverend Yutaka, for sharing always a beautiful message for us to understand and reflect upon. And today we'll have a breakout session, so I'll just create the rooms. Okay, and let's join our rooms. Thank you. Yeah, welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a good time in your breakout rooms. The rooms were a bit bigger this time because more people stayed on than usual, so that's good. So I'll just share the screen and we can offer our unison prayer. Okay, let's begin. Aju, aju, aju. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day and see you all tomorrow. Thank you.
Can I just say, tonight at the Interfaith meeting here in Geelong, we're having a guest speaker who is me. And I'm going to be talking about how I met, joined and worked with Family Federation. And I'll be talking to Catholics, Anglicans, Uniting, Mormons, also Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists. So it's a good way to see how to talk to people from Interfaith as far as our faith goes.
Awesome.
So I shared in the chat group.
Yep, I already put it up on Australian announcements for you.
Today my birthday. Yeah. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Very important.
いくつになるんですか ?70。
Safe trip back to Australia.
74。
1歳下だね。
74 years.
Wow.
Whoa.
Still young.
Very young.
Today is Japanese Constitution Day. Ken means Constitution.
Well, see you all.
Bye.
Bye.